What's up, guys? Welcome to It's Football TV. Now that football season is officially over and we've seen each individual club lift up its own domestic title, and we saw Real Madrid lift up the Champions League, we can now start looking ahead towards the transfer season and where we see each individual club try to reinforce its squad with brand new players. While the official transfer window hasn't opened in certain countries, we definitely start to hear a lot of transfer rumors around this type of time, and one of those rumors being Frenkie de Jong to Manchester United. Since Ten Hag has officially been appointed as the new manager for Manchester United, we all know it's certain that he's going to start rebuilding the squad, since we just saw Manchester United have probably one of the worst seasons in the Premier League of all time, at least considering for their type of standard. One major concern for Ten Hag obviously being the midfield of Manchester United. With the relationship and playing experience De Jong has under Ten Hag, it totally makes sense as to why it's being reported that Ten Hag wants Frenkie de Jong as one of his first signings at Manchester United. But let's look at the possibility of that actually happening. It's been reported numerous amount of times by Laporta and Xavi himself stating their desire for De Jong to stay. As you can see right here where Fabrizio Romano tweeted, a very reliable sports journalist, he tweeted where John Laporta was talking to a Catalan sports newspaper, and where he said, Frenkie de Jong, yes, we have received proposals, but he has great quality and we think he should continue at Barca. And he went on by saying, selling players right now, everything is open. In this case, will depend a lot on the issue of fair play. Right here is another example in which the same sports journalist, Fabrizio Romano, tweeted on the Frenkie de Jong and Manchester United links where Xavi is speaking. And he says, for me, Frenkie is a great player. He's a beast. I like him, and I think he can be a part of an important era of the club. And then he goes on to proceed and saying, we will see the economic situation of the club, but I like De Jong, he added. So obviously this all goes to point that like everybody, as far as Joan Laporta, Xavi, they're all on the same page as far as like really wanting him and acknowledging him as a quality player. But they've also gone on to back it up and say it's all going to depend financially. But even with both of them publicly stating that they want to keep Frenkie de Jong, it hasn't stopped Ten Hag from trying to convince Frenkie de Jong to come join Manchester United, with multiple reports saying that Ten Hag has called De Jong multiple times, explaining to him the project and just trying to convince him to come play for Manchester United and play underneath him again. And right here, here's more information from Twitter user Rashad Rahman, somebody who actually tweets out a lot about Barcelona and transfer rumors and everything's going on with the club, sharing information from a pretty reliable journalist in Oriol Dominique, where he says clubs are talking, but all depends on player. As reported yesterday, Erik ten Hag called Frenkie to convince him, and although at first it was a no, he's more open after hearing his project. Regardless, he's still closer to staying than joining United right now. But if we truly want to start speculating if Barcelona is actually willing to sell De Jong, we have to remember that back in October 17th of 2021, Barcelona stated losses of 481 million euros due to a drop in revenue and inability to contain expenses, as you can see right here. Now, the loss in revenue isn't the only thing holding Barcelona back as far as finance problems. In March, we saw La Liga come out with the wage cap limits and them comparing what they started off with at the beginning of the season and what they were at in March currently. And where at the beginning of the season, Barcelona reported where they could only have a wage cap limit of 97 million euros. And in March, La Liga stated that their wage cap limit was now at negative 144 million euros after the winter transfer window. This was what was said by La Liga's general corporate director, Javier Gomez. He said the reduction of 242 million means that it was estimated Barcelona would suffer smaller losses than has been the case. The negative limit doesn't mean anything with regards to the season's signings. It means there will be more of a limit in the coming seasons unless there is a capital gains or profit. So with that being said, it's quite obvious that Barcelona have a lot of financial issues in their hands that they need to resolve fairly quickly before the start of next season. With taking consideration of the reports that Fabrizio Romano has tweeted out saying that Kessie and Andreas Christensen are going to be joining the club on free transfers, as we can see on the screen, then it only leads me to believe that if something's not resolved quickly, then they're going to have to start selling and getting rid of players in order to, one, free up some cap space, and two, to be able to have the club generating money. Because if they don't sign that CVC deal that has been looming around since last year December, and where Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Athletic Bilbao, if I'm correct, where they denied signing that deal that would inject money into the club. If they don't do that fairly quickly, then yes, we should start, actually believing the idea that De Jong could potentially leave the club, since he's the one who holds the highest value out of the whole team when you don't include players like Pedri, Araujo, Ansu Fati, and Gavi, players that are untouchable to the club right now. So it makes sense that they would offload Frenkie de Jong, considering that his value, according to Transfer Market, is 70 million euros, give or take, which is something that would obviously be, discussed between clubs if that was to come. So it's all going to come down to Barcelona's financial issues and how fast they're able to resolve these problems. Obviously, they're not going to go from 481 million losses last year at the beginning of the season to having a huge profit. It doesn't work like that, but they have to definitely start, digging themselves out of the hole that they're in. And if they don't end up resolving that issue fairly quickly and signing the CVC deal, or in another way where they can see the club actually have money injected into it, then I could see De Jong being sold in the transfer market this summer. But as far as we know, there's only one person who knows if he's whether going to be staying or actually leaving, and that's Frenkie de Jong himself. We can't speculate as much. That's all we know so far. It's come from credible journalists that there is rumors and such, but that's as much as we can say. So if you guys like the video, please go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, as we're going to be posting much more content throughout the summer and leading up to the season. And throughout the season, we're going to be talking about a whole lot of stuff. So keep looking forward to the next episode.